This is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Stanley Fallord. In this week's broadcast, Pathfinders are reminded of their purpose in God, and Bahamas Academy dedicates a garden for prayer. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. In celebrating 75 years, Pathfinders around the world celebrated World Pathfinder Day on September 20th under the theme, Pathfinders on Purpose. In a video message, General Conference Youth Director Pastor Busi Kamalo reminded all Pathfinders around the world that God has called each of them to make a difference and to live with a purpose. Kumalo said, "You don't have to wait to be older to make a difference. You don't need a title to be a leader. You simply need a willing heart and a clear purpose. Every time you keep the path on the law, every time you help someone in need, every time you choose what is right instead of what is easy, you are living your purpose." Here in the South Bahamas Conference, the Pathfinders celebrated all week long by wearing their scarves at their various schools. On Friday evening, a special one-hour service, Vesper on the Steps, brought together Pathfinders from across our conference. The program allowed young people to engage in prayer, praise, and worship and devotion as a reminder of what it truly means to be a Pathfinder on purpose. South Bahamas Conference Youth Director Pastor Manasseh Sims delivered the charge, and his message was clear. Pathfinders are not called to simply blend in with the world, but to stand out as leaders and examples of faith.
Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, it says, "For I know what? The plans I have for you." Now, Pathfinders, I want you to repeat this after me. Repeat it loud and proud. I want you to say, God has a plan for me.
God has a plan for me.
I am not an accident.
I am not an accident.
I am on purpose with purpose.
I am on purpose with purpose.
That's right. Every single one of us has a purpose. We were made with purpose, and God has put us on our purpose.
Pastor Sims also challenged the young people to think about ways in which they can shine for Jesus in their everyday lives. As the service ended, Pathfinders formed small groups as master guides joined in, praying that the Pathfinders would continue to live intentionally and on purpose for Jesus. Pathfinders were encouraged to carry their faith beyond the service and into their daily lives to live boldly and to shine brightly for Jesus Christ. On Sabbath morning, Pathfinders led out in their local services, singing songs of praise and presenting sermons on the story of David. Pathfinders gathered at Christie Park in the afternoon for the highly anticipated march led by the South Bahamas Conference Pathfinder Band. The march concluded at Awaki, where Pathfinders gathered for a joint rally. During the rally, South Bahamas Conference President Pastor Kenny DeVoe urged Pathfinders to continue to represent Jesus and make him the focus of their lives.
We are thankful for all of our Pathfinders and what you do every day to represent Jesus Christ. You are the representatives of Jesus Christ in uniform or out of uniform. And so we are appealing to you to make Jesus the center of your life. And as you make him the center of your life, he will give you the strength to do the things that he wants you to do.
A powerful moment in the celebration was the signing of the scroll of consecration. Pathfinders, adventurers, counselors, and directors lined up to sign their names, symbolizing their commitment to live on purpose for God. A spoken word presentation by Cale Antonio of the Good News Seventh-day Adventist Chariots Pathfinder Club challenged Pathfinders to walk boldly in their purpose.
We're not just part of a club, not just wearing a uniform, not just marching in a parade. We are choosing to live with intention, choosing to grow in Christ, choosing to live our faith out loud every single day. Because when we wear this uniform, we represent something bigger. We represent Jesus, and our aim declares it, the Advent message to all the world in my generation.
The rally concluded with the recognition of outstanding Pathfinders who exemplify living on purpose. Faculty, staff, and students of Bahamas Academy gathered on September 15th for the opening ceremony of the school's prayer garden. According to Principal Dr. Lavonda Smith, the prayer garden was created as a sacred space for students and staff of Bahamas Academy to reflect, pray, and connect with God.
This garden has been envisioned as a refuge, a quiet place where hearts can be lifted, burdens can be laid down, and souls can be refreshed in the presence of God.
Juliet Sands, Education Director for the South Bahamas Conference, shared with those present the journey of the garden's creation, highlighting the staff's initial vision for the project.
This past school year, as we sat trying to think of how we would complete it, we came up with a plan and prayed that God would bless our plan. But God had another plan. On that same day, the Lord sent Dr. Braham from the Inter-American Division to bless us with funds to complete this project. Praise be to God.
Youth Director Pastor Manasseh Sims discussed the significance of prayer, emphasizing the garden serves as a place where God can walk with individuals, providing comfort and companionship.
We are celebrating this prayer garden because this is not just a space for flowers to grow. It's not just a space for trees to grow. It's not just a space to have some extra benches. It's a space where God wants to walk with us.
Sims also encouraged students to utilize the garden for prayer and reflection, particularly in times of stress, reminding those present that God will answer their prayers. The ceremony continued with a ribbon cutting by Juliet Sands and Atlantic Caribbean Union President Dr. Peter Kerr, symbolizing the official opening of the prayer garden. Kerr also offered a dedicatory prayer for the garden, as well as the students and teachers of Bahamas Academy. A special thanks is extended to Dr. Balvin Braham of the Inter-American Division, who provided financial support to help complete the prayer garden. When we return, we'll have more on what's coming up in the South Bahamas Conference.
Are you a Bahamas Academy alumni? Then this message is for you. Join us for a spectacular alumni weekend on October 31st through November 1st, where stars reunite and memories ignite. On Friday the 31st, we will have a grand virtual meeting. You don't want to miss it. November 1st, Saturday morning, an explosive chapel service planned just for you. And Saturday night, where we will have an awesome jamboree. Come out and cheer for your favorite team. And crank it up, stars! Crank it up, stars! Crank it up, crank it up, crank it up, stars! Remember, October 31st through November 1st, Bahamas Academy Alumni Weekend.
Welcome back to our Adventist News, and coming up in the South Bahamas Conference, all elders, deacons, and deaconesses are invited to worship at the New Providence Seventh-day Adventist Church on September 27th, 2025 for a special certification service beginning at 5 p.m. October is National Youth Month, which highlights the success of the youth in the Bahamas. All youth leaders who wish to nominate a youth from their church must do so by September 30th. Let us support our young people as they shine bright for Jesus. The Bahamas National Youth Month will begin with a special Sabbath service on October 4th at the Berea Church. All youth and young adults are invited to attend. The Children and Adolescent Ministries Week of Prayer will be held from October 14th through the 18th, 2025, under the theme Full Cup, Running on Faith. The services will be held at the New Providence Seventh-day Adventist Church on Soldier Road. The Sabbath School Department will host a special training on October 4th at 4 p.m. on Zoom. The training will be for the New Alive in Jesus curriculum for the primary and kindergarten teachers. Bahamas Academy Alumni Weekend will be held from October 31st through November 1st, 2025. Come and enjoy a weekend of memories in Bahamas Academy style. The Atlantic Caribbean Union will hold its second Pathfinder Camporee under the theme Strong Finish. The camp will be held on Grand Cayman, Cayman Islands from April 1st through the 8th, 2026, and will include the 4 territories of the Union along with other international campers. Contact your local Pathfinder Club director for registration and more information. Join men from across the South Bahamas Conference for an impactful weekend of worship, training, fellowship, and great food. Lunch options or a hotel stay are available for the full experience. Register today through your Men's Ministries Director or call 454-0816 or 341-4021. Join the Men's Ministries Department for a powerful evening of dialogue and healing on Sunday, September 28, 2025 at 6 p.m. at the Living Faith Seventh-day Adventist Church. The conversation will focus on domestic violence. Feel free to visit the South Bahamas Conference website at southbahamasconference.org to receive more information on all of our upcoming conference events. There you can also view a rebroadcast of our Adventist News Update, along with other local programming from our cable channel ATV 658, and read the weekly logos, as well as the Adventist page from the Nassau Guardian.
Dental health tips. Take charge of your smile. Hi everyone. Did you know that your oral health affects more than just your smile? It plays a significant role in your ability to eat, speak, and feel confident, and it's closely connected to your overall health as well. What is oral health? Oral health refers to the condition of your teeth, your gums, and the entire oral facial system, which includes your mouth, your jaw, and face. Without good oral health, everyday activities like eating and speaking can become difficult or even painful. Why does it matter? Unfortunately, many people experience poor oral health. In the United States, over half of children and adolescents aged 12 through 19, which is 59%, have had cavities in their permanent teeth. Nearly 90% of adults aged 20 and older have had cavities, and this percentage increases with age. This highlights the importance of taking good care of our teeth from an early age. Some of the most common conditions that impact our oral health include cavities, which is tooth decay, periodontal gum diseases, tooth loss, and oral cancers. These issues can significantly affect not only your mouth, but also your overall health and quality of life. Healthy habits for a healthy smile. The good news is that many oral health problems can be prevented. Here are some simple things you can do every day. Brush your teeth twice a day using fluoride toothpaste. Floss daily to remove plaque and food particles between your teeth. Limit foods and drinks that are high in added sugars. Visit your dentist at least once a year for checkups and professional cleanings. Follow up with additional dental visits if recommended by your healthcare provider. Your smile is one of the first things people notice, so take good care of it. Good oral health starts with small, daily habits that protect your teeth and gums for life. Let's make oral health a priority for ourselves, our families, and our communities. A healthy mouth is an essential part of a healthy life. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to smile. This has been Kenesha Sims for your health tip.
Let's go now to the Adventist News Network with our news feature from around the world.
Cycling has ceased to be just a sport and has become a mission. Across the region, cyclists have been sharing hope with those they encounter.
In southern Colombia, Adventist cyclists traveled over 186 miles between Cundinamarca and Boyacá. Challenging terrain, icy roads, and steep climbs marked the riding initiative called Hope on Wheels. The event organizer and health director of the South Colombian Union of Seventh-day Adventists, Leonel Preciado, said that cycling opened new doors in local communities and showed that sport and solidarity can change lives. In each city, residents were greeted by the cyclists who also shared evangelistic literature with those they encountered. The rider distributed over 2,000 pamphlets.
Well, that's it for our Adventist news from the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. To share what is happening at your church, please email your news stories and upcoming events to sbcadventistnews@gmail.com. To view a rebroadcast of the Adventist news along with other programming, and to keep in touch with what's happening at our conference, visit our website at southbahamasconference.org. The SBC Media Network's Facebook and Instagram pages are filled with lots of material from the Communications Department, so you'll want to check those out, and remember to subscribe, to like, follow, and share. You can watch and listen to programs from our radio station Word SBC 88.3 FM and our Adventist television channel, ATV 658, to get updates, insights, and first-hand information from the SBC Media Network as it happens. The programming from ATV 658 can also be viewed on the South Bahamas Conference YouTube channel, so feel free to watch a recap of our Adventist news there. On behalf of our production team, it was our pleasure to bring you tonight's news update. I'm Stanley Fullord for the SBC Media Network. Have a happy Sabbath.